Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Check, make sure that all of our settings are good, that everything is running as it should be. Looks like signal is going to be nice and strong. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, good. We have good quality volume. Let's go ahead and get started. So let me close this down, and as usual, we are simply working by the clock. It's about 6:18 my time. So let's go and put in to be about 3 hours or so. Exactly 3 hours. And as usual, we are still copying through Sonke Ahrens' How to Take Smart Notes, and this is in Anniversary Gregg Shorthand, mirrored edition. At the same time that I am reading through the book, I've read through it before, but a chance to go back over it. But I'm using it as an opportunity to practice my copywork and also just exposure to the material. And at the same time that I'm practicing my copywork, I am also engaging in a little bit of development of the strokes for the library. In the description below this video, you will see. There we go. Let's pull this up over here so I have a chance to take a look at it. In the description below this video, you will see that you have access to the website that you see me using over here. And you also have access to the book. If you go to Amazon, you can purchase a copy of How to Take Smart Notes for Yourself by Sonke Ahrens. Excellent author. I've really been enjoying going back and taking more of a deep dive. So currently, I am in I'm on page 40. And let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and have the chat pulled up over here in case anyone pops in the off chance that occurs. So I've got this pulled up over here. It's always on top. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Where were we? We had just started another paragraph, I believe. If we take a look here, here's the previous paragraph. And this says most ideas will, let's go ahead and read what where we left off last night. Most ideas will not stand the test of time, while others might become what is that? Might become for major. This is going to be sad. Might become the seed. Might become the seed for a major project. And this word right here, that's a TN. STNA. Unfortunately? Oh, that's an F. Oh boy, I've got to clean that up. I have to clean that up. That's not really very easy to understand. So we have to do for-chew. Yeah, so we want to make sure that with all of our strokes that they are easy to understand. So this is unfortunately. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Shorten the N stroke just a little bit, curve the N, or curve the F over, and then this is the TN, which has an A, and then it goes to an E. Unfortunately, there we go. That's a little bit more conformed. See if we can curve it just a little more. This is kind of a tricky one because it's using 2 or 3 directions that are not like F. F is just objectively a little bit more tricky to work with. So the only way, or one of the ways that we can show it, is by curving it more. There we go. So there's unfortunately. Okay, let's go back to reading. Unfortunately, there are not there are not, yes, there are not easy to distinguish. Unfortunately, they are not easy to distinguish. Right out, right out, right away. Uwe. Yes, because out would be curved the other way. So this is away. Correct? Let me confirm that that is the case. Up, and we have to have the dot in front. Okay? The dot, which is normally the dot of aspiration, also is used to show the initial A sound. Okay? And we'll continue now. So, away. That is why the thread. This is THRE threshold. That is why the threshold to write an idea down. That is why the threshold to write an idea down has, and I'm going to make this H just a little bit more extreme. There we go. Has. There we go. Has to be that's S as low as, that's as low as possible. But it is equally crucial to elaborate on them within a day or two. A good indication that a note has been left unprocessed too long is when you can no longer, that's right, no longer. So let's figure out what longer is. That's where we left off. There's longer. Is when, oh, and what did I probably just messed up. Yes, I forgot to, there we go. Fix that aspirate. And now we continue. So this is the L stroke. You can no longer, see here. A good indication that a note has been left unprocessed too long is when you can no longer understand. So we have our understand stroke coming up in just a little bit. There we go. When you can no longer understand, what was that? When you can no longer understand what you meant, or it appears banal. When you can no longer understand what you meant, or it appears, and that's APR, or when it appears, and then the word banal. Let me confirm that that is appears. And that is correct. That is appears. When it no longer appears, or it appears banal. Banal. I don't know if I've ever used the word banal. Oh, which page is this, by the way? This is page number, so we did, this is page number 7. This needs to be page number 8. Page 8. Very good. Continuing on. Back up here to the top of the line of writing, and we need to do banal. Banal. So let's look that up. Banal is not in the dictionary, so that's a pretty easy one to add. What it's going to be is it's going to be banal, banal. So it's going to be B-A in and then L, B-A-N-L, banal. And let's go ahead, we can confirm that that is in line, because if we look up band, urban, turban, bank, banquet, bankrupt, headband, contraband, abandonment, mountebank, mountebank, bank, yeah, bank. So we can do ban. Notice how it curves back on the other side of the line of writing. So we'll use that for banal. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that to the dictionary. So this is banal. Okay. Continuing on, banal, banal. Now that's another interesting one, is do we want banal or banal? I think we might want to do banal, because that is actually more, that's more the way that you say it. So this is banal. And because if we do it like this, banal, oh, banal, banal. That's actually that. Okay, that's the way it should be said, because that's beno or banal, right? Because the little a or the o hook turned on its side is an all sound, right? So that would be beno or banal. Okay, so that's actually the stroke that we'll use. Okay. Next note or next sentence. In the first case, you forgot what it was supposed to remind you of, comma. So, or that's a period. In the first case, comma. Yes. Turn the book over a little bit so that I can read it in the light. Let's shine the light over here. There we go. And let's go take a look at the camera, make sure that we're not too washed out. We are a little bit, so let's go ahead and fix that. Camera, drop the lighting just a little bit. Brightness should do it. If I drop those two levels, not really. What's the other one I need to do? Maybe exposure. A little more. How again? Oh, wow. Come into the dark. Wow, now it's really dark. Oh, man. Okay, all right. We'll call that. That's good enough. That is good enough. Oh, man. Okay, so let's continue. So we were on as. Let's see here. What is this? It's no longer as. A good indication that a note has been left unprocessed too long is when you can no longer understand what you meant, or it appears banal. In the first case, you forgot what you, in the first case, comma, you forgot, you, and then forgot what it was supposed to. And I'm pretty sure, don't I have what it was? Let me check that in the dictionary. Yes, what it was is in the dictionary. You forgot what it was that you were what it was supposed to. What it was supposed to, and supposed is S-P-O-S, right? Let's look up that phrase and see. Supposed to. S-P-O-S-E-D. S, and that's it. No S at the end, so you can just do SP, SPO, SPO, and then the line underneath to show that it is a plural. Okay, so once we have this, we have SPO with a line underneath. We can then go on to remind. So now we do to, and then the symbol for remind, which is R-E-M-I-N, remind. Remind you of. Remind you of. Let's go ahead and check and make sure that you of, remind you of. You of. You of. That's not very good structure. Yeah, that doesn't flow well. So I'm not going to do that as a phrase. I'm going to keep those two separate. You of. In the second case, you forgot the context that gave it its meaning. In the second case, you forgot the context that gave it its let's see, that gave is a good phrase to combine, so we'll do that gave. Okay, let me go ahead and check over here. That gave is not in the phrase lineup, so we'll add it here. Okay. That gave it its meaning. So we can do it, its, and just do a little jog in between the line to show that they belong. So if you do this, its, like that. Its meaning. Okay? That's the end of and that's the end of the paragraph. Well, I'm not going to bother going back and reading it because we read it at the beginning, so we only added the last little bit. What I will do, though, is I will go back and read the sentence we just did. Let's go ahead and grab the little line, the little marker. In the second case, you forgot the context that gave it its meaning. Okay? Checking over, I want to go ahead and fix the TH symbol. It needs to be a little bit less extreme. There we go. Curve down. And that takes care of the symbol. Now let's go ahead and go back over here and let's look up forgot. Just to confirm, and that is indeed the stroke for forgot. Another thing, as we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I want to have a little bit more of a curve in the F stroke, like so. That way I'm able to differentiate the F from the S. Okay? All right, now moving on. The only permanently stored notes are the literature notes. Here we go. The only permanently stored, and store, pretty sure that's stored. I know we've done that before. I just want to confirm. Stored is not in the lineup, but store is. There's no reason why you would want the disjointed D, because that slows you down. If you can continue the stroke and it makes sense, it's legible, then that's the choice that you want to have. So in this instance, we're going to leave the D attached to the R. Now, one thing I do want to have is a little bit more of a, I want to have a little bit more of a clear indication of the curve going up. There we go. Stored. Okay. The only permanently stored, and I want to add that. I want to add that to the dictionary as well, so that I don't have to constantly consult. Once I've made my choice, we'll go ahead and add it. We'll add it to the dictionary. So, stored notes are the literature notes. Notes are the, and then we do literature notes. The only stored notes are the literature notes in the reference system. In the reference system. Period. Oh, no, it continues. And the main notes in the slip box. And the main notes in the slip box. The next portion, the former can be very brief. So the former can be very brief. Now, brief should be BREF. That could just be BRF, but I want to confirm. And indeed, you do have the E, so that's brief. Makes sense because the E needs to be added in order for greater clarity. Brief. Otherwise, it's brief, and that real one doesn't make sense. So we're going to do brief, BREF, okay? The former can be very brief, as the context is clearly the text they refer to. As the context is clearly the text they refer to. The text they refer to. Let's check and see if that is indeed refer. Oh, interesting. Refer and reference are the same stroke. That's good to know. I don't know if I've ever had to use refer. Okay, so that's refer, RF. Refer to. Next portion. The latter need be written with more care. Well, that's not a the, that's a to. And then here, the latter, now this is where we can show the difference between later and latter. And this is why, in the previous version yesterday, why there was that little line under. There was a little line under the circle vowel in the word later. The reason for that is because every vowel can be written in one of three ways. You have your basic short form, you have your medial form, and then you have your long form, okay? And in this instance, because we want to show the difference between latter and later, if I wanted to do the word later, I would do the stroke underneath, the little digraph. But because this is, it's not digraph, what is it called? Diacritic. But because in this case we want the short vowel, then we leave off the diacritic. Like that. and that is later, that is latter. The former can be very brief as the context is clearly the text they refer to. The latter need be written. So here this is need be. Now, need be is an example of a phrase that I would definitely want to add to the dictionary. The reason for that is because we have like needs be, need be. It's actually more common. A little bit more formal, but it's still worthwhile. Need be. So there's the latter, need be written with more care. Written. So written with more care and details details. This should be, I think it is just, it's a long forward stroke. Yep, it's a long forward stroke with an ale. So you do a little bit more of a slant to show that it's a D and T, and then you do the L stroke for details. Okay? Going on. Details. See here. As they need to be self-explanatory. And once again, this is speaking of the slipbox notes. So as they need to be self-explanatory. So we've done self before. I don't know if self-explanatory is in the dictionary. I would assume so. And it's hyphenated. And it's not in there. It is not in the dictionary, so we get to add it. So let's go ahead and look up explanatory. Excellent. So you see we have explanatory. Let's go ahead and write that down on the page. So that is explan, XPL for explain, and then the tory ending is a disjointed RE. That's tory. Okay? And then self-explanatory is just an example where you put the S at the beginning and it's curved towards the line of writing. We look up any of the other examples where we do self and then hyphen. We see that all of the all versions of self, if they're being used as a prefix, is a disjointed reversed S stroke. Okay? And that gives us self-explanatory. There's self-explanatory, okay? S, explanatory, okay? The latter need be written with more care and details as they need to be self-explanatory. Going on. Lumen never underlined sentences in the text he read. Lumen never underlined sentences in the text he read. What else? In the text he read or wrote comments in the margins. or wrote comments in the margins. All he did was take brief notes, all he did was take brief notes about the ideas. All he did was take brief notes about the ideas that caught his attention in a text, that caught his tension, and let's do his tension, because his tension. This one's a little interesting, TN, and then drop a curve for the shun, that caught his attention in a text on a separate piece of paper. In a text on a... Now separate, is that SP? Is that just SEP? SEPR. So this one you do have to have the R at the end. So separate on a separate piece of paper. And then here's the quote where he says, I make a note with the bibliographic details. So here we go. I make a note with the, and then bibliographic, that's, what was that? Bibliographic, right? Let's check and see bibliographic. There's bibliographic. So we do bib. And then we do graphic. With the bibliographic details, curve this over. There we go. All right. I make a note with the bibliographic details, period. On the back side, so pretty straightforward like that on the back side. Now it could be backside. In fact, let me check. That may not be in the, it's not in the lineup, but we do have back already, and we have, let's check side. Now side is just SIE. So what that means is that we can simply add the two words together to create a compound word. There we go. And it's a little bit more generous of a curve for that E, the inner E, like so. I will go ahead and add that to the dictionary. Okay. To the back side. I make a note with the bibliographic details. On the back side, I would write, on page X is this, on page Y is that. Okay. on the back side, I would write, on the back side, I would write, so we have I, now would, so we have I'd, write, and this is comma. Nope, no comma. On page, and I'm going to use my symbol for page, which is P with a G through it. On page X is this, comma, on page, change the order of Y because it's backwards, on page Y is this, is that. On page Y is that. Save the document. And then it goes in the bibliographic slip box. Here we go. And then it, and then it goes in the bibliographic slip box. In the bibliographic slip box, where I collect everything I read. What a neat idea. Where I collect everything I read. End of quotation. Drop a parenthesis. The author is Hagen. Hagen, so that's going to be HGN 1997. Okay. Oh, okay, and then there was a little note here. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a square bracket to show. And here, the note is whenever, so whenever, no published English version, no published English. I think that's English, right? English. Let's check here. I think that's one that I had to add to the dictionary. No, it's not one. Good, good. And that is correct. When no published English version, and version, we've done this before, it's ES. I think it's a version. Let's go ahead and check to see if that is indeed the form. Nope, they want the R. They want the R attached, okay? So we'll curve up, and then we have the SH at the end, like that. When no published English version of a German text of German. So that one would be, it's like journal, right? So we have German. And it could just be a long M-in stroke, because I don't know if I did that yet. That's German. German. I'm going to leave it. Technically speaking, it doesn't need the long A because that's germane. In fact, that is incorrect because that is germane. That's the word germane, which is, if you look it up, that's, yeah, germane, which means to be in the context of. I look that up over here. Not Control B, I need Control N. And let's close down the bookmarks. There we go. And if we look up germane, germane is an English or French given name of Latin origin, meaning brother or related. Okay. Yes, that is a name, but in the grammatical sense, the meaning of germane is related to a subject in an appropriate way, fitting. So actually, come to think of it, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the dictionary because I can do that now. I'm going to do germane, and I'm also going to update the term for German because the term for German would be just German and then the MN, a long stroke, like this, which you'll see over here. So we'll do three spaces long. Like so. And there's German. There's German. Text. Keep on going. Is available, and available should be VA, correct? Or is it veal? AVALB. So it's a longer one, which is fine. It's just good to know. So this is available. Okay. And there's available. The translation is by myself. The translation is by and then we have myself. Now, self is interesting because it's my, and then I think you curve back in on itself. Like that. You do an S, and that shows you myself. That is correct. Okay? Myself. That's actually one reason, that's one place where I got the idea for doing, when you're doing now if or now for, or what was it, what was the other version, where you have some sort of circle vowel and then the F stroke follows. I drew inspiration from using the S in self, that you could add it to the inside corner of the circle and the line and the straight line. Okay, so let's continue. Myself. And that closes out the comment. Going back to the writing. But before he stored them away, but before he stored them away, he would read what he noted down during the day. He would read what he noted during the day. Think about its relevance. Think about its relevance. Oh, that is similar to, we've actually done relevant more. So we know that relevance is going to be just probably, that's reveal. So relevance probably just attaches the ns to the end, like so. Let's go ahead and check. And that is exactly what it does. So it adds the ns at the very end. Okay, grab those values. Like so. This is relevance. And there's relevance, okay? So what is that? Think about its relevance for his own lines of thought, for his own, for his own. That's one we can put together. His own. If I'm not mistaken, I have added that before. I have not. So let's go ahead and have that in the dictionary. His own. His very own. My precious, my precious. Your precious, my precious. So we have continuing relevance for his own lines of thought. Lines of thought. And write about it. And write about it. Filling his main slip box with permanent notes, comma, filling, fill is one that we added, filling his slip box with permanent notes. Very nice. Period. Nothing in this box would ever get thrown away. Nothing. Isn't that just... Yes. Nothing in this box would ever get thrown away. Some notes might disappear into the background. Some notes might disappear. There's a word I haven't used a lot. I'm going to guess. I'm going to write it down and I'll see if I am correct. I'm going to say that it's dis and then like that. Disappear. Let's go ahead and see if that's correct. And that is correct. Hey, it's almost the same formatting as well, which is very nice. Once again, if you're doing a PR, any sort of downward stroke after, then the D has to stand up a little taller or a little bit more curved. So disappear. Okay. Very good. Yay. Some notes might disappear into the background. Now, this one I'm going to need a little bit more space. So, because this is, oh, well, it's the middle. It's the middle line, so I could kind of eat into that line a little bit. Background. GRND. GRND should be the ground symbol. And that is exactly what it is. It's even a little bit less extreme of a curve. But I think I am going to move it over here to this line of writing. Background. There we go. Into the background. Boy, what a term. Let me go ahead and check and see if it's... Yep, and that is exactly what the line of writing is. As you can see, it's the third one down. I didn't even see it in the dictionary. So, yay for me. That deserves a drink. Okay. One thing is the G is normally not quite as extreme, but I'm going to leave it for right now. I can see that the overall structure, it's close enough, it's legible, but I'll work towards perfection one day. Let's see here. Nothing in the box would ever get thrown away. Some notes might disappear into the background and never catches his attention again. And never catch. So catch, we do a K and then a ch ending. Like so. Let me confirm. Catch is not in the... Okay, Greggy, you know, I'm starting to crash out a little bit. I don't know. Why would you not have catch? Brother, why would you not have catch? You have all these other words and you don't have that one. I don't get it. I mean, let's see if we can do some analogous word endings. If we do any other versions of atch, A-T-C-H, okay? Let's see how those are like hatch. So hatch is in there, but catch is not. There's thatch. Let's take a look there. You see thatch right over here. Thatch and catch are kind of the same, so we'll use the analogy. But no catch. Okay, all right, well, look at me. Adding to the corpus, adding to the corpus. I'm special, that's why. Okay, so we have catch. Catch, there we go. And I'm going to add that to the dictionary. Okay. Now what? And never catch his attention again. I need to check attention. Is it just tension? Yes. Yes. So his attention. And it would be stention. Which works for a German, I guess. You know, stenchen. Okay, so his attention. There we go. And I'm going to add that to the dictionary. His attention. All right. So we've got that. Some notes might disappear into the background and never catch his attention again. Okay. While others might become connection points. While others might become connection points. Yep, I think that's points, isn't it? Oints. Or do I have that backward again? Nope. That's, hey, hey, look at that. Look at that. I've got it. Points. And points is already in there. Good, good. So, oints. Like so. Connection points, while others might become connection points to various lines of reasoning. To various let's see this, to various lines of reasoning and reappear on a regular basis. And I think we can do reappear because now we know that one. That's reappear. Reappear in various to, what is it? Oh, okay. I'm looking at various right now, and I was drawing a little bit of a mind blank. There we go. In various contexts. Contexts. There we go. End of sentence. Beginning of new line. Okay. As it is not possible to foresee... Oh, and that's the end of the paragraph. So let's go ahead and go back through and read the paragraph. Read it, read it. Where does it begin? Where you at? The only permanently stored notes. That's the line I'm looking for. Don't tell me, did I forget to drop another paragraph marker? I'm a genius. You know I'm a genius, right? There we go. Oh, brother. There we go. There is our paragraph marker. And now we can go ahead and get started. So, the only permanently stored notes are the literature notes in the reference system and the main notes in the slip box. The former can be very brief, as the context is clearly the text with the text they refer to. The I'm blinking. Latter. That's right. The latter need be written with more care. More care. Yeah. Yep, that's care. Need be written with more care and detail, as they need to be get rid of that one, as they need to be self-explanatory. Oh, and self-explanatory is one that I needed to add, wasn't it? Yes, that's one of the terms that I need to add. Self-explanatory. Okay. So we're going to add self-explanatory in the text. Self-explanatory. What's this? Lumen. Oh, and I forgot to give him his proper due. There we go. There's Lumen. Lumen never underlined sentences in the text he read or wrote comments in the margins. Now wrote that his tail is sticking out. So we need to drop that a little bit. There we go. Wrote comments in the margins. All he did was take what? Brief. There we go. Was take brief notes about the ideas that caught his attention in text, and that text T or the S needs to curve down just a little bit more. There we go. In the text. On a separate piece of paper. And then here's his quote. I make a note with the bibliographic details on the backside. On the backside, I would write what? On the backside, I would write, oh, and then this is that's a quotation mark, so I need to make that a little clearer. There. On the backside, I would write, on page X is this, on page Y is that. And then going on, what does he say? And then to what? And then to goods in the bibliographic, and then what is that? To GS. It goes. That does not make sense. And then to goes. Well, if I had been paying attention, maybe. I just don't think I've ever done that phrase before. And then it goes. There we go. That way it's not two. So for that one, that would be just a straight shot. Oi. And then it goes in the bibliographic. And then it goes. It goes. I think I will add it. It's a little bit esoteric and silly, but if it catches me, then I will expunge it. But for the moment, I'm gonna add it to the lineup. And then it goes in the bibliographic slipbox, where I collect everything I read. End of quote. And then that one was from Hagen, 1997. And then here's the note at the bottom. Whenever no published German, English version of German text is available. The translation is by myself. Good. Going back to the text, but before he stored them away, he, what's that? He would. He'd. Yeah, I don't think we need to have that. If we just do he would, then we know that that's the case. Do I have he would? No. I think I'm going to add it. Because I don't have it here yet. Yeah, so we're going to do he would. And do I have I would? I would suggest is incorrect. I just took a look at one of them that I added, and that's not correct. That would be would as in wooden. This is, so let's update I would, and then the other one I need to update is I would suggest. Okay, so we're going to update both of those. Okay, going on. Where were we? Oh, he would, that's right. He would read what he noted during the day. Think about its relevance for his own lines of thought and write about it. Filling his slipbox with permanent notes. Notes. Nothing in this box would ever get thrown away. Some notes might disappear, and others into the background and never catch his attention again. Did I have his attention, right? I'm planning on putting that in. His attention, yes, good. His attention. Again, going on. While others might become connections, might become connection points to various lines of reasoning and reappear in various contexts. Yay! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, another paragraph down. That's worthy of a little celebration of some coffee. And I think we're getting close to the end of this. We're getting close to the end of this next section. We have 2 more pages, and then section 6 is all done. Very nice. Okay. Closer and closer, closer and closer. Well, I hope everyone else is having a good morning. I know I am. Being able to get this work done right now. So how many words do I have to add so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And 20 total. Good. And I have no idea. I wish I kept records of how many I added yesterday. I think it was probably in the area of about 150 words. And then I think it was 200 the day before. So, building out the dictionary, which is nice. And also fixing some strokes. Always good. I would suggest, I would like to, all sorts of good terms. All right. Pushing on. Carry on, carry on. Very good. Let's go. Back to the work we go. As it is not possible to foresee the development of the slip box, as it is not, as it is, make sure that that's added to the lineup. Yes. As it is not possible, as it is not possible to foresee the development, to foresee the development of the slip box. Let's go ahead. I think I have enough room here. Of the slip box. Comma. The fate of the notes is nothing to worry about. The fate of the notes is nothing to worry. To worry about. To worry about. Now, worry about, that's actually a phrase you use more often, so I'm going to keep 2 separate. But I am going to do worry, because then about is this. So how would you do that? Like that. That's pretty easy. So you go worry, and then you just flip it around. So this is worry about. Worry about. Nice. Like so. Worry about. Very good. So let's go ahead and add that to the dictionary. Worry about. Worry about. Good. Going on. Let's see. What is this? Is nothing to worry about. In contrast to the fleeting notes. In contrast, in contrast to the fleeting notes, every permanent note. Contrast. Let me just make sure that that is indeed contrast. And I was wrong. It's K and then just the S underneath for contrast. It's even easier. Sorry if the fan picks up, or if the microphone picks up a little bit of the fan noise. It's starting to get a little warm in here. So we have contrast. In contrast to the, and then fleeting notes. Good. Every permanent note for the slip box is elaborated. Every permanent note is elaborated. Elaborated. Enough. I think that one is enough. It's a funny one. I think it's like a curve and then an F. Is that enough? Enough? Hey, oh, this is kind of fun now. What do they call that? The learning curve or something like that? But maybe I'm at the Dunning-Kruger effect, where I'm thinking I know more and I actually know less. So we have elaborated enough to have the potential to have the and then potential. I'm going to say that it is potential. I'm going to say that's potential, but let's go ahead and see what the man says. Oh, nope, I'm all wrong. They want to go potential. There's potential. Potential. You have potential. I have potential. As elaborated enough to have the potential to become part of. That quote, by the way. You have potential, I have potential. That is from an Allstate commercial in which Pinocchio is it's saying, would Pinocchio make a terrible motivational speaker? And so he's saying that everyone has potential, and as he does that, his nose is getting longer. So here we go. To have the potential to become part of, to become part of, or inspire a, or what's inspire? Inspire. Inspire, or inspire. Inspire what? A final written piece. Inspire a final. I don't think that's final. Nope, for that one you do take the in and the L out. So, oh, that makes sense, because fine, you have the in. Find is when you don't have the in. So, final. Where's that? the potential to become part of or inspire a final written piece of, to inspire a final written piece, comma, comma, but that cannot be decided on, but that cannot be decided. I think that's decided, right? I think we did that already, correct? Yeah, yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's go ahead and check and see it was decided. No, and it is a disjointed T, so I think I'll leave it. But what about cannot be? Is cannot be two phrases I need to check and see if are in there. First one is but that, and but that is not in the lineup, so I do need to add it. But that, and then we need cannot be. Check that phrase, see if it's in there. Bada boom, bada bang. Cannot be is in the phraseology. Very nice. Okay. But that cannot be decided. But that cannot be decided on up front. That cannot be decided on up front. Oh, there's one up front. Let's see where front is. Up front, because in fact we have that often, don't we? Up front and personal is a phrase. Up front. That cannot be decided on up. So this is up front. That is just the nature of that stroke that's a little awkward. If we go like this and then we have that, that's a little too much. So there, I'm going to keep those two separate. Besides, front is not a brief form. Yeah, makes more sense to keep them separate. That cannot be decided on up front as their relevance, relevance, there we go. Do I have as there in the mix? As there would be, well, that's a nice phrase. As there would be, but as there is not in the lineup. So let's go ahead and add it. As there. Relevance. As their relevance depends on future thinking. As their relevance depends. Add another page below. This is page 10. Page 10. Good. As their relevance... what? As their relevance depends. And depends is... depends. There we go. As their relevance depends on future thinking. On future. Isn't this future? No, it's FT is future. FT is future. Future. The future. Back to the future. There we go. As their relevance depends on future... On future what? Future thinking and developments. Future thinking and developments. Period. The notes are no longer the notes are no longer. No, I'm wrong. It should be, isn't that longer? Longer. Let's check that. Yeah. Longer. Are no longer reminders of thoughts. Reminders. So we have that now. We have reminders of thoughts or ideas but contain the actual, contain the actual thought or idea, the actual thought or idea in written form. In written form. There we go. This is a crucial difference. This is a crucial difference. There we go. Let's go back and read the paragraph, and hopefully I dropped a paragraph marker. Please tell me I did. As it is. Looking for as it is. Please. Please, Mr. Bumble, can I have some more? There it is. As it is not possible to foresee the development. That is incorrect, because I just did develop. So we need development. It'll have to be a little smaller, but we'll put it in here. Development. As it is not possible to foresee the development of the slip box, the that's supposed to be an F, isn't it? The fate. That is supposed to be an F. And if that's the case, the fate of, then the F needs to be a little bit more extreme down, like so. Fate. There's fate. Of the notes is nothing. The fate of the notes is nothing to worry about. In contrast. Yes. In contrast to the... What's that? to the fleeting, oh, that's fleeting, yeah. To the fleeting notes, every permanent note is elaborated. That's elaborated. Is elaborated enough to have the potential. Yes, to have the potential. Oh, and I messed up. Mouse, you did it again. Ah! Now, hold on. Is it going to go away? It is. Are they disappearing on their own? Oh my goodness. What? They go away on their own? Oh, that is a weird glitch. That is a weird glitch. I think I'm falling through the matrix now. All right, to have the potential the potential to become. There we go. To have the potential to become part of or part of or inspire or inspire. They have the potential to become, yep. So they have the potential to become part of or inspire a final written piece. Hey, there we go. Okay. By that, but that cannot be decided, yeah, but that cannot be decided on up front as the relevance depends on future thinking and what are you future thinking and what is that? And spazzing out over here. And development. There we go. The notes, which that note, I'm being really too generous with these notes here. This needs to be a little smaller. The notes are no longer reminders of thoughts or ideas, but contain the actual thought or idea in written form. This is a crucial difference. Indeed it is, Sonke. Indeed it is a crucial difference. I thank you for that. I thank you, dear Sonke. Okay, now going on. It is the standardized format. It is the standardized format. So we go, it is the. It is the. Do I have it is the? Yes. It is the, and then standardized. Do I have standardized? Please tell me I have standardized. 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 Now, what I don't understand is, which is the correct spelling? Because in my version over here, I have standardized with a Z, and here standardized is with an S. When do you have one? When do you have the other? Let's go over here to trusty Google and let's do a quick search. Standardized versus standardized. Both spellings are correct. Both spellings are correct and they mean the exact same thing. So a Z or an S. The choice simply comes down to regional spelling rules. So if you're going to be using an S, if you are writing for British, Australian, or New Zealand audiences, and then for the US, it's a Z. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So I think, do I want to add standardized? I think I'm going to add standardized to the dictionary. Standardized. Okay. So we go standardized. Standardized. There we go. Come on. Standardized. Little better. Standardized. Nice. Lovely. Going on. It is the standardized format. Standardized format that enables the notes that enable, I think that's it's just enable, right? That, oh, it's even easier. You just do the ENB for enable. It is the standardized format that enables the notes to build up, the notes to build up, a critical mass, to build up a critical mass, in one place. In one place. It is also the key. It is also the key to facilitating. So to the key to, and look up facilitating. Facilitate. To facilitating. Almost. Let's try that again. Facilitating. There we go. The thinking and writing process. The thinking and writing process. By removing all unnecessary complications. By removing. By remove. By remove. Removing. Makes sense. By, come on. By removing all unnecessary complications. All unnecessary complications. Let's see if I can figure this one out. This is calm. And then doesn't it curve back in on itself? We go calm. Complication. That might be it. Complications. Is that correct? Please tell me that's correct. Yeah. Hi. Look at that. But you don't even need the A. You just need the shun at the end. So we go complication. Complications. There we are. Complications. By removing all unnecessary. Oh, Hold on. Ooh, that would be necessary. Unnecessary. You gotta put the two together. So we go unnecessary. Aha. What? All necessary. Oh, look at that. That's almost like in computer code. If I had thrown that command, I would have gotten rid of all necessary complications. All unnecessary complications. Okay? By removing all unnecessary complications or decisions. What's a decision? Decision. Decision. There we go. Decision. There we go. Decision? Decisions. There we go. Or decisions that come up, that come with a variety of different formats, that come with a variety. What's variety? Variety. Sounds like a girl. Mariah. Is it? No, it's Mariah. I know Mariah, but is it Vera? Isn't that the name of the girl in that's the name of the girl in Willy Wonka, correct? I think. Doesn't matter. All right, so here we go. Variety. So let's go ahead and go through. So we have variety with a variety of different formats of different formats. There we go. Variety of different formats and storage places. And storage, places, places. Good. Good. All right, and then we're going on. We have only because every note, only because every note, only because every note is in the same format, is in the same format. I need to check is in the. Do I have is in the dictionary? Is in the. No. Is in the. So I'm going to add that to my dictionary. Is in the. Every note is in the same format. At the same place. At the same place. At the same place. Let's see here. At the same place. There's place. Can they later be combined? Can they later? Let me check. Can they? And oh boy, that curve is just not extreme enough. Can they later be? Can they later be combined? Combine. That's combine, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, you don't even need the N. Can be combine. Bind. Can they be combined and assembled? And Avengers Assemble. What is that? Assembled. Go ahead, write that down here. Can they be combined and assembled? Do a disjointed version. Can they be combined and assembled into something new, and no thought is ever wasted into something new, comma, no comma, and nothing, and that'd be anything, and nothing, and no thought, and no thought is ever, let me check and see if I have is ever. Is ever is not in the lineup, so I'm going to add that. You know, as I've been thinking about this, I realized, so for me, it is worthwhile to flip the screens. No, it is worthwhile for me to have the screen set up in left-handed mode. But for you, everything should be mirrored. I don't see any reason why you guys have to. I mean, it's easy for me. All I have to do is just flip the screen around, and you guys can see the opposite, which it's going to be more valuable for the majority of you. So let's go ahead and switch this around. We're going to switch. We're going to transform. We're going to transform this over here to a flip horizontal mode. There we go. And then we're going to transform this mode over here. Where is this? Gregg. We're going to transform. I'm going to transform you. We're going to flip you horizontal as well. So now you'll be able to read this in the normal flow of things, except for the phrase at the bottom, which is going to be mirrored. But now everything that you see is going to be exactly as it should be if you were to write the notes in the normal fashion. There. My public PSA is over, and we go back to work. Of course, you're going to see all the text in backwards arrangement, but hey, we're more interested at this point. It's more interesting for us to do things in Gregg, and so we'll just plug along, right? So we did assembled into something new, and no thought is ever let's see here. And no thought is ever what? Wasted on the question, and no thought is ever, which am I going to add that? Yes, is ever wasted. Wasted. That is wasted. Let's check and see if that's in the dictionary. So I go over here, and that is waste, and then wasted is simply extending it up the line of writing. So we'll make it a little bit more extreme. Over here, this is wasted. There we go. Is ever wasted. Where's that? Is wasted on the question of where to put or label it. And no thought is ever wasted on the question of where to put it or label it. To put it or label. Lab? Isn't that label? Wonder what label is. Ah, it's just the full stroke. So we go, oh, that'd be lave. Or label it. And that's the end of the paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a paragraph marker before I forget again, because I'm a genius. And a genius needs to make sure that they do everything in order. Okay? So let's continue pushing on. All right, let's go back and let's reread the flow. Where's my last paragraph marker? Because I'm a genius, and so therefore I leave paragraph markers now. Here we go. It is the standardized format that enables the notes to develop. No, to build. Wait, that's not build. I did that upside down. Yes, build goes like this. There's build. It allows the notes to build up a critical mass on, wait, that's not on. That is, critical mass. Critical mass. This is in one place. In one place. It also it is also the key to facilitating the thinking and writing process. Yes. But by what? By removing all what's that? All other? No, that's not other. All of Oh, this one is two strokes put together. It's all unnecessary. That's unnecessary. That's right. Boy, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Here we go. Unnecessary. There's unnecessary. That's completely unnecessary. What is this? Unnecessary complications and distractions that come with a variety of different formats and storage places. Places, yes. Okay. Only because every note is in the same place is only because every note is in the same place at the same. No, that's not place. Only because every note is in the same format at the same place can what? Can they later be what is that? Can they be combined? Can they be combined and what's that? Can they be combined and assembled into something new? And no thought is ever wasted on the question of where to put it or label it. Yeah, nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Let's carry on. Next paragraph. Paragraph. The last type of note. Here we go. The last type. Come on. I'm going crazy. There we go. The last type of note is the last type of note, comma, the note, the ones that are related, RL, I don't remember if this is just REL. I don't know what sort of brief form that is. Let's go check it. I mean, I've used it before. In fact, I think I just used it 2 or 3 times today, but that are related only to one specific project. Only to one what is it's, oh, what is it? It's specic? I think that's what it is. Let me write it and we'll see. As they say, it's better to make a mistake. Specic. I think it's specic. Let's see. Specific. I'm right. Specific. To one specific project. There we go. Are kept together. Are kept. Is that kept? KPT? Yes, good. Are kept together. Keep together with other project-related notes. With other project-related notes. Project-related notes in a project-specific folder. In a project-specific, which I know how to say now, specic. That is kind of cute. A specic. A project, so be project specic. You know what's funny is, because I've been working on this on Gregg so much the last few days, that just before I woke up this morning, I did have a dream in which, who was it? I think it's Trey Kennedy. Trey Kennedy on Instagram. He's a Christian comedian, and he does a lot of skits. And in my dream, the gist of the joke was that he was giving a letter to his wife. He was speaking a letter to his wife, but it was all in shorthand strokes. And in my dream, I was seeing the actual letters of the shorthand. And, I mean, it is kind of funny. I kind of like that notion, but that's, yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm learning something if my dreams have jokes about the format or about the structure. So anyway, back to what I was back to what I'm doing here. In a project specific and then folder. Folder. Right? That's one that always gets me, because folder. Yes, folder. Good. Chun chun chun. Do I have fold? I don't even have... Do I not even have fold? Oh no, fold's there. Oh, folder, okay, that tail's a little too long, mister. We need to dock your tail. I need to dock folder's tail. You're being cut down to size, sir. So let's go ahead and continue on. Into a project-specific folder. It doesn't matter in which format these notes are, period. It doesn't, so here's that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in which format, so we go in which format, in which format. These notes are, we go, these, come on. These notes are, as they are going to end up in the bin, as they are going to end up in the bin. Move you down, sir. Move you down. As they're going to end up in the bin. What it is? Come on. Ben. Thank you. Why are you so much trouble, Ben? Come on, Ben. As they're going to end up in the bin after the project is finished. Where's finished? Finish. There we go. Is finished. Anyway, come on. There we go. Up, over, around, boom. Such an ugly little outline. I don't know why. I think it's because it's, well, let's see, anyway, what you have to do is you almost have to think about intersecting the circles in order to get the proper stroke. Because, I mean, I would love to get a little bit more of that loop like that. But if you do that, then you cut. All right, that's good enough. Anyway, here I am learning the system and I'm complaining about the aesthetics. I mean, how ridiculous can you be? It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right, man. Okay, so we have anyway. It doesn't matter in which format these notes are going to, in which these notes are, as they are going to end up in the bin after the project is finished anyway, or in the archive. So then we have a paragraph here. Or in the archive. 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 Or in the archive. The bin for the indecisive. The bin for the indecisive. That's like me. So I guess I would end up in the bin because I'm indecisive. Here we go. Indecisive. Indecisive. In. Decisive. Oh, and we have to break that. So this is int. Decisive. A little bit more. Indecisive. Oh, and that's ugly. That looks like an, oh, I don't know what that looks like. Indecisive. There we go. The bin for the indecisive. And that's the end of another sentence. So now we go back up in here and we read through, find our genius paragraph marker, and we start. So the last type of note, yeah, the last type of note, the ones that are related only to one specific project are kept together with other project-related notes in a project-specific folder. It doesn't matter in which format these notes are, as they are going to end up in the bin after the project is finished. Anyway, or in the archive, the bin for the indecisive. Bada boom, bada bang. All right. Next page, next page. Hey, and this is the last page of section 6, and then we move into section 7. 6 or 7. Oh, I know. So old. Such an old meme. So old. I can almost get retirement now. So I wonder, do old memes, are old memes able to pull out a pension? And I wonder, do they get a percentage off? Do they get to order from the senior menu at Denny's? I don't know. All right, so let's move on. Project-related notes can be, so here's my next paragraph. Let's drop a genius paragraph marker. Here we go. Boom. Here we go. Project-related notes can be project-related. Here's related again. Related. Related notes can be colon. And then these are the different categories. So we have the first one is comments in a manuscript. Comments. You know what? I'm going to put this on a new line. Can be, and we'll put this down here on the next page. And the first one is comments. There we go. Comments on, comments in the manuscript. I think, does script require, I think that's manuscript. Let me check manuscript. Ah, okay, all right, almost. What, like 80%? 80% completion? So we have manuscript. This is manuscript. There we go. Next one is, next paragraph, collections of project-related literature. Now I'm using the paragraph marker to also mean a line break. You know, come to think of it, I'm going to do a quick search before I carry on with this. And I want to see if Gregg has any line break. See if Gregg has any line break characters. So, line break characters in Gregg shorthand, because if not, I might just add one. Line break. Let's see here. Rules for character placement. Simplified cheat sheets. Oh man, there's so much information for Gregg, especially when you start to search for it. I don't know. I think that there's really been quite a resurgence in general, which is very nice. But line break characters in Gregg shorthand. I'm going to go to AI mode and see if it can find anything. Structural line changes are managed using a specific paragraph break symbol. Yeah. Small forward pointing arrow. Sentence integration, that's the question. A downward slash. Yes. Okay. Ignoring strict formal line structures rather than spending time drawing structural paragraph indicators mid-dictation, they often drop down to the next line, notebook line, or leave a gap to indicate an informal break or a change in the speaker. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like dialogue. That's interesting. So if in physical notebook line breaks, then you would drop a line. Okay, so there is a paragraph marker and a line break marker are the exact same. It's just that forward arrow. Beautiful. In that case, then that's the one I'm going to use. So each of these are new lines, so each of them gets a new line break. Bully for them. Here we go. So here is collections of project related. He likes that term, doesn't he? Project related literature. And then another line. Outlines. Which reminds me, do we have outline in the dictionary? Let's check. Outline. Hey, it's in there. Good. It is in there. Subject is present inside the dictionary. Beep bop, beep bop. So we go out, line, outlines, new line, snippets of drafts. Snippets. Ooh, now there's a question. I'll bet you snippets is not in there. I'll bet you that snippets is not present in the dictionary. So, because of that, I'm going to try and write it first, and then we'll search for it. So we go snip. That's snip. Et. Snippet. 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 Yes. Boom. Snippet. I don't think we even need that E at the end. Here I am, arguing about a word again. I tell you, aesthetics are the death of me. They are my curse. It has to look right. It has to look right. If it doesn't look right, it's not legitimate. There we go. Come on. Snippet. Snippet. Yeah. We'll call that good. Now let's check and see if it's in the dictionary. And it's not. But snip. Oh, man. Okay, so snip's not in there, but parsnip is. Well, and that makes sense. Parsnip is a vegetable, but even so, that is funny. That is funny. Okay. Let's go ahead and add. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and add snip to the dictionary and snippet to the dictionary. Okay. Here we go. Snippets of drafts. Let's go back to the nice boring words like draft. Here we go. Draft. Draft. Is that right? Oh, and draft, you don't even have to have the A. So, boom, 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 draft. You don't even have to have the T. Giraffe. That makes sense, though, because there's no other word that really has that sound. So, draft. Good. Snippets of drafts, and then we have reminders. I know I have reminders. And that's not going to fit there, so we'll have to do it down here. Come on. I think I can tell when my hand starts to get tired because I just make more mistakes. Reminders, there we go. Reminders, new paragraph, to-do lists, to do, and let's do that. This is to do. To do, what to do. To do. The long stroke itself, I think, is good enough to understand to do. It's one of those things where I've got to kind of broaden my experience. So there we go. To do lists. Lists. Here we go. Lists. Yes. Yeah. We want to do the slight break between the two S's. We don't want a backwards S. The reason for that is because this isn't lists. This is lists. And since it's already a broken form, it's already a brief form, there's an invisible T there, which means that the S, when you add it, yes, that's correct. You're welcome. Just entered my thought process. And sometimes spilling coffee all over myself. All right, to-do lists, and of course the draft itself. New line, and of course the draft itself. And of course the draft itself. Come on, itself. All right. New line. Digital Zettelkasten solutions. Digital. Here we go. This is digital Zettelkasten system. So this one is the Zettel. So we go Zettelkasten. Remember that? Zettelkasten. Kasten. Yep. It's a combination. So we go Zettel. Now it's so hard for me. Here we go. Zettelkasten. Zettelkasten solutions. Okay. All right, so where's our solution? There's solution. Zettelkasten solutions. Zettelkasten solutions allow you to create project-specific pages. Digital Zettelkasten solutions allow you to create project-specific pages. Allow you to create right? I think to create Project-specific pages. Project specific pages. Okay. Project-specific pages, comma, where you can not only structure your thoughts, where you can not only structure your thoughts and conceptualize the chapters of your draft and conceptualize your thoughts and where you can structure your thoughts and conceptualize and conceptual. I remember conceptualize. I know I did that one yesterday. It was, let's see if I can remember it. And here we go. It was conceptual eyes. Nice. I think that's it. Let's check it. So it's conceptualize. Right? Conceptualize. Yes. Looks good to me. I think, therefore I am. I don't know. It's best not to put the cart before the horse. Conceptualize. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Conceptualize. I think that's it. Let's check it. Yes, there's conceptualize. Small wins for me. Small wins. You know, you can still make a nice dish of mashed potatoes with small potatoes. So, hey, there's that. So cheers. There's my good word of the day. Now, back to work. Conceptualize the chapters of your draft. Chapters of your draft. Come on. Of your draft. But also collect and sort the notes for this specific. But also collect and sort the notes. But also collect and sort the notes for your specific, for this specific project without fear, fear, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. Who said that? What quote is that from? with nothing to fear, without fear that they will water down, that they, let me make sure I have that they. There's another one that's good. That they. Yeah. There, it's there. And it's one of the originals too. You can tell by the pixelation. I think I made those forms. I extracted those forms probably 5 years, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Yeah. Man. Okay. Without fear that they will water down or interfere Let me check and make sure that is interfere. I'm thinking so because it's hey, yeah. Yeah, boy. Love that. Love that for me. Okay. Interfere. I feel like someone who has this amazing machine and they've spent so long just pushing all the buttons and gradually they're learning what each of the buttons mean. And they're not constantly crashing the machine. Here we go. They will water down or interfere with the slip box itself. Interfere with the slip box itself. Okay? You can even change the notes according to your project. You can even change the notes according to your project without affecting the notes, without affecting the notes in the slip box, in the slip box. All right, that's the end of that paragraph. So now we'll go back through and read over it. The last type of note, oh wait, no, this is that was a previous paragraph. This is the beginning of the next paragraph. Project-related notes can be. It's the various types. That's what that one was. Okay. Another sip of coffee. To everybody's good health and happiness. Okay. Moving on. Let's go back up here to the previous paragraph. It was right here at the top, right? So this is comments. So it starts over here. There we go. Let's go and get our laser pointer. Project-related notes can be, and then it gives the different categories, can be comments in the manuscripts, collections of project-related literature, outlines. That's outlines, yes. Outlines, snippets. The one word that I spent so much time playing around with, having fun, I couldn't remember. Snippets of drafts, reminders. Yes. Oh, okay. Reminders, to-do lists, and what? And of course, the draft itself. There we go. Okay. Next section, it is what is that? Digital. Ah, digital, digital Zettelkasten, digital Zettelkasten solutions allow you to create project specific, so this needs to have the hyphenated, project specific pages, pages where is that where? Yes, that is where you can where you can not only structure your thoughts and conceptualize the chapters of your draft. Yes, of your draft, but also collect. Oh, and that reminds me. I know I'm going back. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to turn that into a phrase just to help remind myself that this is a really good phrase that I should use more often. But, so we go, but also collect and sort the notes for this specific project without fear that they will water. Yes, that's water. Let me confirm. I copied Psalm 1 so many times that I should have water like completely burned into my memory, which is why. Because what is it? What is the line? It's he shall be like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season. And I wrote down water so many times, just playing around with the structure, that I sure hope that's water. Because if not, I'm sad. So let's go ahead and we have water. Let's check and see if that is in the dictionary. A. Yeah, got it. Water. Okay. And that water down or interfere with the slip box itself. You can even change the notes according to your project without affecting the notes in the slip box. Very nice. Yeah. Okay, next, I've got about 20 minutes left, and man, I'm just pushing right along. What did I do? Was that, I mean, I know, what did I, yeah, that was like a full page. All right. And now let's continue. The same applies to the reference system. Here's the next sentence. The same applies to the reference system. The same, apply, A-P-L, and then the diphthong, right? Apply. I think that's apply. Sort of like what you do to, college courses. Apply. Yes, I think that's right. Let's check. Yeah. All right. So the same applies, and then we just make it a plural by, or we add the S, applies, to the reference system. So we go to the reference system. In Zotero, and it sounds funny, but I think, no, I'm just going to do Zotero. In Zotero, you can collect literature in project specific folders. You can collect literature in project specific folders. Come on. Now the hand is not happy. Come on. Yep, there we go. Yay! Folders. All right. In project specific folders, without taking them out of the reference system. Without taking them out. Without taking them out of the reference system. Taking them out of the reference system itself. Okay? All this keeps the permanent notes from the project. All this keeps the permanent notes. Oh, need to add another page under this. Page 11. There we go. Oh, where was I? Itself. All this keeps the permanent notes from the project-related notes from the project related come on. Related. There we go. It's like Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. Wilbur. This is related. There we go. Related. From the project related notes. Clearly, all this keeps the permanent notes from the project notes. Oh boy, someone did not do a good translation here. All this keeps the permanent notes from the project-related notes clearly separated and allows you to experiment and tinker with them. Yeah, that's not very clear English. I mean, the book is a translation from the German, so I would expect some of those more funny aspects to occur, but man, that's funny. Okay, what doesn't matter. All this keeps the permanent notes from the project-related notes. Notes, and then clearly separated. What is separated? It's SPR, right? I think it's SPR. And then you would do the T underneath for separated. S-E, S-E-P-R. That's, you got to do the S-P-E-R. S-E-P-R, and then underline. Separated. All this keeps the permanent notes from the project-related notes clearly separated and allows you to experiment and allows you to experiment. Experiment. I know I've done that before. Let me think this one through. It's E-X. So it's E-S for X. Oh, this is an example. Yes, this is one of those places where you get to use the disjointed ES for expra. And it is over the top. So you do like, is it backwards? I think you do backwards like this for exp. And then I think you do ment. Like that. If you disjoint it, I think that is experiment. Let's check. X. No, nope. What am I thinking of? Am I thinking external? Yes, I'm thinking EXTR. Let's take a look here. Yes, EXTR. There we go. Yeah, look at all the variants of EXTR. Extraneous, extractive, extractive, extricate, extraordinary. Yes, so that one would be excrement. Well, that's excrement, but sorry. Just had a little bit of a gutter slip there. But excrement, and excrement is not a word. I sure hope it's not, because if so, that is a funny word. I'm gonna check and see. I can't think of any place where that word actually works. Extrament. No. Yeah, there's no such word. But there is extramental. Extramental. What's that? Oh, it's an actual word. Extramental. Extramental is an adjective that means existing outside of the mind or intellect. It refers to concrete realities, physical objects, or phenomenon that have an objective existence in the real world independent of subjective perception, thought, or consciousness. Okay, all right. So extramental means anything existing outside the mind. Well, that's fun. Okay, well, I'm going to have to add that to the lineup. I doubt that extramental is in the dictionary. Let's find out. Yeah, extramental is not in there. But mental is, right? So you would take mental, and then you would just put an extra over the top, and now you have extramental. So if it's mental, then it's really mental. All right, but anyway, let's get back to work here. See, this is why this takes me so much time to write this stuff out, because I'm over here learning about new words. We're going to save that. Okay, and we'll go back to the, what was it? Experiment, right? And I can't even remember. Experiment was E-S-P-R-M? Experim? Is that what it was? E-S for the X, and then P-R-M. Experim should be experiment. Experiment. Okay, so you do have to have the E, the secondary E, so it's E-S-P-R-E-M. E-S-P-R-E-M. There is experiment. Good. It allows you to experiment and tinker with them. And tinker. That's tinker right there. Let me, pretty sure. Let's go ahead and check. All right. Once again, Greg, why? Why is in K longer than in G? Is that across the board? Because that's kind of messing with my that's messing with my brain. Is in K longer than in G? If we go over to, I need to go over to the manual here for a second. And I'm searching through the manuals, going over to the stenography book, and I need to go to the manual. I'm pulling it up here, and I will share it. I'll share it with the screen so you're able to see this. We're going to go back to the very first page. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let me share this with you so you can see this. Let's add another source here. Sources, add your source. And where it's going to be a screen capture. And this one's going to be PDF. And we need to open the selector. Open the selector, there it is. We need an application window. There's the manual. Okay. So as you see, on this is an example. This is the PDF for the Gregg Shorthand Manual. And as you see here, this is a reference sheet for all the various strokes. K, G, R, L, N, M, T, D, Th, P, B, F, V, Ch, J, Sh, S, Sh, H, N, Nk. So, N is short, ink is long. Ink is long, ing is short. Which is funny because that's the opposite of everything else. Notice how the strokes are separated into they're separated into what are called voiced and unvoiced consonants. K would be an example of an unvoiced consonant, right? It's just a k, k. That's the k, consonant versus g. G, you're actually having to resonate your throat in order to make the sound. So that's g. And then r, l. R is the shorter version. L. R, r, l. L has a little bit more of a length. N, m, n, m. So that one, both of those are voiced, but m, I mean, at least for me, I think, you close your lips so it's a little bit more sound. I don't know. It's like it has more substance to it. T versus D. T, D, D is a voiced consonant. T is an unvoiced dental. D is a voiced dental. TH, it's the or the. I mean, obviously both of those are voiced. P and B. Try and say P with resonating your throat. P, P. You can't. Whereas B, B, B. Right? You resonate the vocal apparatus in order to make a B. Same for F and V. F, V, right? V is voiced, F, and then F is unvoiced. Ch, J, that is voiced. Ch is the unvoiced version. J is the voiced version. And then S, J, H. But anyway, to this particular point, this is why this is kind of throwing me for a loop. Ing and ink are the same. Ing, and ink are two of the same qualities, right? They're both endings, and they're glottal stops, right? Ink. They're placed at the end. You don't have as much emphasis put on them. Ing is the longer sound. I would expect it to be longer, but it's not. So, once again, the aesthetics are driving me crazy. So, but We'll just ignore it for now. Okay, back to work. Back to work. Um, it's just a lesson that if it's ink, it's long. If it's ing, it's short. Boy, what an explanation. All right, and tinker. So tink is the long one. And tinker with them. Okay, we'll get back to this. And tinker with them as much as you like. As much. So here, once again, we can do the as much as much as, so much as you like, as much as you like, within the boundaries of each project. So this is within the boundaries, boundary. Are they wanting, I don't know if they want a, I don't know if they want a diphthong there or not. So let's check. No diphthong. No diphthong. It's just the be in, and then re. Okay. BNRE, and then boundaries, right? Within the boundaries of each project. So we go of each project. So let's go back up here. And we have of each. Each goes down that way, right? Let's check. Yes. Of each, and then what's project? Of each project. Without interfering with the actual slip box. Allows you to experiment and tinker with them as much as you like within the boundaries of each project without interfering with the actual slip box. Without interfering with the actual slip box. Okay. I suggest keeping a physical binder. So I, and then what is suggest? Sudges, I think it's SJS, right? SJS. So I'll try it. SJS. Let's check that out and see. Curves the other way. Curves the other way. And then there is no S at the end. That would be suggests. So we go, this is suggest, I suggest. And so those can actually go together. So it's I suggest. And it doesn't have to be quite that severe. I suggest, what do you suggest, sir? I suggest keeping a physical Testing, yeah, okay. I suggest keeping physical. Let me try and write it down before I go searching for it. So it's, oh, there's my timer. So I'm going to stop for a little bit and grab some breakfast and then get back to work. Suggest keeping physical. I think it might be that. Let me confirm. Oh, that's right. Call can be is the separate K. Okay. And so we can put those together. Physical. There we go. I suggest keeping a separate physical binder for each project. So I'm going to go and finish the rest of this sentence. Binder. Binder? That's boundaries. Binder. Is that binder? Because it's bind. Oh. Rebind. Oh, hoo, hoo. I've just discovered something. So bind is not in the dictionary. All right. Well, let's add it. Bind and binder. Question is, bind just by itself. By rebind. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, if the word is just by itself, we have it here. Bind. So there's bind, and then binder. Okay? So binder for each project. For each project. To keep all the handwritten notes. All the hand written notes. To keep all the handwritten notes and printouts. So that's print. I think that's print, right? Is it P-R-E-N? Let's see. Yes. So then, do they have printouts? No. So, printout. So, printouts. And then that curves back around. So that's print out. Print owl. Oh no, it does have to curve the other way. So here we go. Let's try this again. This is print outs. Yes. So I'm going to add print out to the list. Okay. Separate from the rest and combined in one place. Separate from the rest. Separate from the, let's go ahead and move this over here. Separate from the rest and combined in one place. And combined in one place. All right. So that's that paragraph for right now. I'm going to go ahead and review that material. So let's go back to the previous paragraph marker, which is here. That's digital. No, that's did I forget to drop it again? The same applies. I did. The same applies. Ah, I forgot the marker. Rats. Okay, here we go. The same applies to the reference system. In Zotero, you can collect literature in project-specific folders without taking them out of the reference system itself. All this keeps the permanent notes from the project-related notes clearly separated, and allows you to experiment and tinker with them as much as you like within the boundary the boundaries. So this has to be an S at the end. Within the boundaries of each project, without interfering with the actual slip box, as I suggest keeping physical binder for each project to keep all the handwritten. Oh, that's one word. Handwritten. So we go written. And is that in the dictionary? It is. I added it. Okay. To keep the handwritten notes and printouts. And printouts was that, and that was another word that I needed to add. Yes, printouts. Specific? No, separate. That was separate, right? S-E-P-R? S-E-P-A. Yep, that's right. Okay. Keep the project notes separate from the rest. And combine what? Place. Combined. Oh, forgot the to turn it into an adjective. Combined in one place. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a break now. I'm going to take a break and go get some breakfast, and then I'm going to come back, add these words to the dictionary, and then I think what I'm going to do, I was actually giving this some thought. So I'll be taking some math classes here soon, and let's see, in about a month or so. And so I thought, might as well go ahead and develop some ability and technique in being able to work within the math textbooks. So I think for the next part of the stream, or the next set in the stream, I'm going to actually crack open probably some Google textbooks, and just practice copying those down. So that should be fun. We'll see, kind of a different flavor, and we'll just swap back and forth. So definitely still want to go through the Zettelkasten method, but I want to work within my domain-specific area as well, which is mathematics. So let's go ahead and close this down. I'm going to pause the stream for right now. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Yeah, we will reconvene. So thanks so much.